are queuing now to get inside to the Sachi gallery to see the Tutankhamun treasure.
According to the ancient Egyptians, a man dies twice. Once when his soul leaves his body, and a second time after the death of the last person who speaks his name. The Valley of the Kings, burial site of ancient Egyptian pharaohs. It is 1922. In the Valley of the Kings, Howard Carter is on an intense search. He is an Englishman who has worked in Egypt for over 30 years. Hired at 17 for his artistic skill, he soon fell in love with Egypt and its history. He worked on many archaeological digs, and through hard work and determination, became a well-respected Egyptologist. The discovery of a cup inscribed with the name Tutankhamun convinces Carter that the tomb of this obscure king lies somewhere in the valley and may still be untouched by grave robbers or explorers. In 1908, Carter started working for wealthy aristocrat and amateur Egyptologist Lord Carnarvon. When Carnarvon obtained the permit to dig in the valley in 1915, the hunt for Tutankhamun intensified, but the search was fruitless and expensive. In 1922, Carter persuades Carnarvon to fund one final season of digging. This is Carter's last chance. It is 1336 BC. Egypt is at the height of its glory, the most powerful empire on earth. The ancient Egyptians credit their success to the blessings of the gods. It is a culture immersed in magic. Each day, the sun god Re voyages across the sky. Each night, he travels through a dark and dangerous netherworld. Each sunrise, he is reborn to begin his journey, an eternal cycle, and one the king enters after death through the power of magic. At the tender age of 9, Tutankhamun ascends to the throne. He lives a life of unimaginable wealth and luxury until he dies suddenly at 19. Priests prepare his body for the perilous journey through the afterlife. They provide magical amulets, spells, and weapons. Everything that the boy king will need to meet the dark challenges that stand between him and paradise. Now, join Tutankhamun on his journey to the afterlife. See the magnificent objects placed in his tomb to protect him from supernatural forces. Meet the creatures who challenge him and the gods who keep him safe. The destinies of two men, separated by 3,000 years, converge. Howard Carter becomes the best-known Egyptologist in the world. Tutankhamun becomes immortal. The most famous of all pharaohs, the one whose name will live forever.
It's about food for the royal. A wooden container. The gilded wooden figure of Tutankhamun on a skiff. It's a ceremonial maze.
Photo we'd love to see.
A wooden bed. It's the coffin text.
instantly gripped the imagination of the world. Tutankhamun became an overnight sensation. The press declared that Carter and Carnarvon had discovered Aladdin's cave.
These are the instruments from Tutankhamun's funeral. This is a wooden statue stand.
Name and a wish for his eternity. May your car live millions of years. May your eyes see wonderful things. But the preparation of his body and his tomb and all the spells were not enough to ensure wonderful things for Tutankhamun in the afterlife. The living had to remember the dead and continue to speak their names. Pharaohs erected temples and statues to keep their names alive. Priests spoke their names in daily rituals. But Tutankhamun's brief reign was marked by political turmoil. After he died, his successors wanted every trace of the boy king erased. Most of his monuments were destroyed. Wherever his name had been carved, it was removed and replaced. The funerary cult to keep his memory alive was demolished. No one performed rituals or spoke his name. Any mention of him was erased from the royal list of the kings of Egypt. Tutankhamun was written out of history, his name forgotten, and so it remained for thousands of years. Throughout the millennia, this wishing cup sat in the dark near the entrance of Tutankhamun's tomb until November 26, 1922, when Carter and Carnarvon broke through the wall.